Okay friends, it's time to get started on replacing our multifunction switch. Now obviously this is located in the steering column. We're going to have to gain access to its mounting point, which is underneath this area. To get to that, we're going to start along this. To remove this trim panel, I'm going to use a plastic trim tool. I want to use something that's not going to mar up or damage the dash in any way. I'll just carefully get in between this area and gently pry it apart. Sometimes you got to come from the side. There's going to be 2 push clips on this. I'll show you in 1 second. There should be one right here, still stuck in there. I'll pull it out. And then the other one's located right there. Now at this point, we can leave this hanging, and we'll do the same on the other side of the steering column. Let's continue with our trim tool. Just gently pry that off as well. Behind each one of those panels, you're going to find a 7mm headed bolt. We're going to remove the pair. You might happen to find you've got these little clips on there. Go ahead and pop that off of there. Typically, you can get underneath it with a small screwdriver or even some cutters. There's that one. Now I can separate this area. I'll do the same on the other side. Now, once we have that popped, we're just going to get in between this area and separate it. Once you have both sides out, let's continue up along the top of this panel. To remove this, we're going to remove 2 Phillips head screws. I'm going to grab this panel and we'll carefully pull it out of position. Now we can start separating the clamshell. For ours, it's already kind of popped apart, but typically you just use your plastic trim tool, get in between and gently twist. You can see you have a push tab here that should fit in, and you're going to have the same exact thing on the other side. Once you have them separated, go ahead and pull this right out of position. Now that we have that off, let's move underneath the steering column. You have your steering column adjuster lever. Right next to that, you're going to find a hole with a 7mm headed bolt. Remove that bolt. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is make sure that we have this panel pulled down as far as we can. If you were to look up along the top of this unit, you're going to find that it has a locking tab right in there. You can also access that from directly above it. Now for the top, I'm going to use a small flat screwdriver. You're going to find the exact same thing down along the bottom. You can access this with a screwdriver as well, but I'm going to use a pick. I'm going to gently pry on that tab. You can tell I'm pressing it towards the multifunction switch. Now I'll come inside here. I'm going to do the same thing. While I have both of those pulled, I can continue on by trying to pull this out and away from the steering column. Now that I have this so it can move, let's start disconnecting the wiring. For the wiring, the white connector has a tab right in the center that you'd want to go ahead and press in, and then you should be able to draw this right on out. Every time you disconnect an electrical connector, you need to take a peek. If you see any funny colors, it's corrosion and it would need to be dealt with. Now for the larger connector, you're going to find that you have a black locking tab. I'm just going to carefully get underneath it, gently pry it, and then I'll pull the wiring off. Quick inspection. Set it aside. Now we can carefully start removing the unit. As you grab onto it and start pulling it out, you might notice it wants to get caught. Just be careful not to break anything along the way. I'm going to press this down and gently pull it out. Okay, now it's time for the installation of our brand new multifunction switch. You can see looking at it, we have both of our locking tabs along the top and the bottom. Looking at the back side, we also have the areas for both of our electrical connectors. Let's bring this over towards the steering column and reconnect our electrical connectors first. I'll start sliding it into position so it looks like it's heading in. Before I latch it in, I'll continue with the wiring. We'll go with the larger connector first. Listen for a click, and you need to give it a tug. It needs to be secure. We'll do the same to the second one. Now we're going to latch this entire thing in. We're going to listen for 2 clicks. All right, those are very light clicks. I'm going to give it a tug to make sure it's completely secure. If it feels like it wants to fall out along the top or even the bottom, just go ahead and check to make sure the tabs are locked in properly. Now that we have that in there, let's continue on to making sure we have this outer ring right here along the outside aspect of the trim panel. Just carefully slide it behind there. It can be a little bit difficult sometimes. Let's move along the bottom of the steering column here. We'll put in our lower mounting bolt. Use my 7mm. Make sure that's nice and snug. Now we can start putting in the top panel. Now we're going to have a look at the bottom of the top panel. We have the two areas with push tabs, but then also looking at it, you can see that it also has these hooked areas. Looking at the car itself, you can see that on either side, you have these tabs that protrude out. That's where the hook needs to go. And then if you were to look down at the steering column, you're going to find two areas for the push pins. Let's go ahead and put this in position. As I bring this in, I'm going to make sure that I have this little gasket right here coming up and behind this area. Once that's slid in there, I'll line up those hooks in position as well, and our push clips. Now that should want to snap right in. We're going to make our way over here and make sure we're lined up with this as well. That's pretty good. Now these should be latched in. Our push tabs are broken. Essentially, it should look just like this. Now we can put in this top trim panel. We'll just go ahead and slide this right in position. Looking down along the bottom, you have your alignment tabs. Go ahead and press that right in. Do the same on the other side. Now, once we have that lined up, let's continue on with our 4 mounting bolts. We're going to make sure we use our Phillips head screws once again. These are the screws that we removed from this area. Now we can move along to each of the lower corners. Now for these, of course, they had their 7mm headed bolts, which held them in position. They also had the metallic locking clip. The metallic locking clip isn't something that necessarily needs to be there. I just want to mention it, because once you put the screw in, it's going to hold it all together, just in case yours happened to have broken. If you did want to reuse these clips, go ahead and put it right over the stud. Once you have it over the stud, just go ahead and drive it the rest of the way on. Next, we can move along to our plastic panels that are supposed to go over this area. When you're removing them, you might happen to notice that sometimes the clips come apart wrong. If you need to remove it from the area, what you need to do is get underneath this center tab right here. You can squeeze those two together, and then it should just want to slide right out. This can fairly easily be done with either some pliers, a pick, or even a small screwdriver. I'll just hold it separated with a screwdriver while I do the same on the top. Now you just want to slide this onto your plastic panel. We're just going to take this and we'll slide it right onto the plastic. Now we can take this panel and we'll put it in position. You want to have the dimple facing down near this area. We'll line up those two press-in tabs with their corresponding holes and slide it in. Double check to make sure it's completely secured the entire way around, and do the exact same thing for the other side trim panel. Bring it in. I'm going to line up my locking tabs and press it in. Give it a wiggle to make sure it's completely secured. Okay, now it's time to test our work. Put the key in the on position and make sure the headlights work. Check those high beams, make sure that functions properly, and of course, we're going to do both of the directionals. All right, assuming it works fine, go ahead and start it up and take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.